Alright guys, hey, this is one of the first posts that I put on this brand new website. I started this website basically in November 2012 here. Yeah, I just want to say thank you guys very much for visiting it. If this is, if you're on YouTube, you can go to emarketerpros.com. Anyways, thank you guys very much for being on here. You know, we're talking about personalizing your content so that you can really start building that brand trust. You know, this actually has to do a little bit with basically multimedia within your blog and within your website. You know, there's a lot of people out there that just really aren't, I think, harnessing the power of their website, their WordPress or Joomla or Blogger or whatever. Because by adding video, I know there's quite a few people that are using video, but most people I find on their websites just don't use video. And I think video is, first off, the #1 way to sit there and not only increase that brand trust and convert that traffic when they're on your site, but at the same time, it's really appealing. It really, really is appealing. I mean, if you start thinking about it, you ever notice that whenever you're sitting there and you're looking at Google search, and you've got those, you know, you've got your little links right here, 1, 2, 3, and you got that little arrow right here that shows off that screen right there. Well, if you got a good title and a good image, we'll just put I right here, some paragraphs, and then a video, and then you got your like H2 tag or whatever. I noticed that this always shows up over here, and when people hover over this, I'm telling you, when I started adding images or videos right here and an image right there, my click-through rate for my websites went up about 35–40% almost overnight. So basically, this is why I do this, because you got to remember that 80% of the people out here are only going to scan content. So if they see a video or something like that, well, guess what? That's going to increase that click-through rate because there's the video. They know that, hey, I'm not going to have to go around and you know, read all of this content or even scan the content. I can just go ahead and watch the video. Another thing is that when they have their little, you know, the little YouTube thing up here, or, you know, video, here's another thing. By optimizing this video with this piece of content, you have a better chance of being above the fold on YouTube. So the thing is that even if they click here for the video or they click here, either way, they're going to get that video information. And you got to remember too that going through 2013 and into 2014, 90% of the information consumption online will be video. It's just the way it is. It's going to be video. Another thing that I want to talk about too real quick is images. You know, a lot of people start talking about images, you know, making those big strong calls to action and everything else. Now, within my content, usually 99, you know, or at least 90% of the time, you're going to find a nice image right here. Okay, I'm going to put an image right here. Now, this image doesn't always have to be the big, fat, strong call to action. This image right here can really be something fun or funny or just interesting or pretty or whatever it is, because it's basically going to be eye candy. You know, I was talking to somebody one day on my, and he's a big-time blogger. I mean, this guy's huge. And he was saying, you know, I don't know why you have the slides on your website, Dave. It's just more eye candy. It is eye candy. It makes me stand out a little bit. Like, you know, hey, you know, this guy's got some really nice sliders. These are images from where he's from. This is images of him. This is really nice. I'm personally branding this. That's what I'm doing. I'm personally branding this to you. So whether it's on the front page of, you know, sliders or a good image or something like that, I'm going to personally brand these. I'm going to use images that I want to use for this piece of content. Now, sometimes it might be in context to the actual piece of content. Sometimes it's just going to be a really nice image, maybe something close to where I'm from or something that I like, but that's really, really it. And don't forget, we're not going to talk about the SEO of this, but you should SEO your images as well as your video. Now, if you want a strong call to action as well, image within this content, don't forget, you can center them, you can hug them up, and you can make something that say, you know, 350 by 250 right in here. Yeah, just, you know, 3/4 the way down the content, halfway down the content. But this one actually should be something that's kind of a call to action. Yes, it can be a pretty image, but type over it or put a caption around it that calls people to action, to click on it, to go through and get whatever it is, get them where you want them to go. I think that's an excellent idea. That's a wonderful idea. Another way to sit there and personalize your content isn't just in the content. It can actually be over here on the sidebar. Okay? So you could sit there, and we'll just put SB for sidebar. You can put a good about image, and a little bit like I do on eMarketer Pros or eBlogger Pro. You can put your opt-in form, and you can sit there with Aweber or Constant Contacts or whatever you're, MailChimp, whatever you're using. You can personalize that just a little bit with a good, strong call to action. Another thing is maybe having some other links to recent posts, and you can put in the little images in there that kind of stands out and everything else, or you can just leave it in there. A good tag cloud. They got all kinds of different tag clouds today to really make things a little bit more fun and friendly and whatnot. But for the most part, whenever you start thinking about, really, personalizing it over here, it's going to be this and it's going to be that. That's what it's really, really going to be. Okay? Nothing else, really. It's really not going to be anything else. That's where it's going to be. The rest of it's going to be right here in your content. And you have to have content today, guys. It's just the way it is to build a good, solid brand, to build that trust. Personalizing your content. Also, I'll talk about this real quick, too, before we get out of here and before I let you go. The way that you writing styles. There's a lot of hubbub out here about writing styles. Write at a 10th grade level, write at a 12th grade level, write at a 3rd grade level, blah, 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 blah. The average, person at Newsweek or the Wall Street Journal has to write for kind of a 10th to 12th grade level. I mean, that's what they're taught. Out here, when you're blogging and stuff like that, I think the best SEO and basically the best way to personalize it is write like you talk. Trust me. I'm not the best writer in the world, so I just write like I talk. It just makes a lot more sense to me. And I'll tell you what, over 40,000 subscribers later, it makes sense to most people. So the thing is that whenever you're sitting there and you're really starting to personalize that content, the actual written content, just write like you talk. Don't forget your keywords. Don't forget your keyword phrases. Don't forget your latent semantic indexing, your synonyms to phrases and words. Don't forget those things, but here's the deal. Don't complicate it. Don't complicate it. Make sure that this stuff is scannable. Make some bullet points. Make some number points. Bold some things. Be funny about things. Put some quotes in there. That's how you personalize things, guys. This is what attracts so many people to my websites, is that they sit there and they look at it. It's just personally branded. It's just very, very easy to parse through. And it's pretty. Or it's nice. Or it's really cool. Anyways, thank you guys very much for being on here. Get out there and start personalizing your content. No matter what, God bless.